Good morning, everybody. Kathy here. Today is Friday, August 6th, and I just want to touch base and say hi and let you know I'm recovering slowly. I'm still pretty bruised. The bruise has moved down all the way down the side of my face like it's puddling or something, and this is still quite swollen up here. My wrist, the orthopedic doctor has not seen my wrist yet and didn't want to see it for another 5 or 10 days, and so my next appointment with the orthopedic doctor is not going to be until the 13th. So I still don't know a lot about that, except he must have obviously looked at the x-rays and decided it was a clean break perhaps, and that I was doing fine in the splint. I had to get a cover for the splint because I kept going into the gardens to pick lilies, and I kept getting lily pollen on my bandages, and it kind of looked gross, so like a spaghetti sauce or something, so I decided to cover it. Anyway, you know, people all these last couple of years since I've been planning my escape to live solo in an RV have been asking me periodically, you know, like, aren't I scared, or you know, being alone and on the road, and what if something happens and there's nobody to call and there's nobody around and you don't have cell service, and you can make the list of all the fears that people have showed actual concern for me. Well, to be honest with you, yeah, I have some fears about going solo on the road, mostly to do with what if I'm someplace where I need help and I can't get help. I am considering getting that spot satellite thing. I've looked at that actually for many years when I was backpacking when it first came out. Now I guess it's generation 3 or generation 4 at this time. So I know they've improved. The bottom line, I think, I mean, even my daughter said, she says she wasn't scared for me before when people would ask her or we talk about it. She wasn't scared for me before, but since my fall, now she is scared for me and trying to put some protection in place. I'm generally pretty klutzy and clumsy anyway. I get a vertical thing, and it comes and goes, and I'm usually very careful. I'm careful with my steps. When I hike, I have a pole. I don't do stupid things. I think what I'm mostly scared of is not doing it because I'm scared. Does that make any sense? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this whether I do it this year or whether I do it next year. I say that only because I'm not sure what's going to happen with my arm. And if for some reason I can't get out of here, you know, at least by the first week in October, I'm not sure if it's smart to continue to go unless I map out a good area where I'm not going to run into any ice or weather and snow to get south. My intention is still to go, of course. But anyway, that's my biggest fear, is just not doing it. It's just sitting here and not doing anything, or going to work, finding a new job, or going back to work. That scares me more than anything. So I'm going to do it just as planned. And as soon as I can possibly get out of here, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, so this next video is going to be about Bisbee. Bisbee is one of my favorite small towns. I love small towns. Small towns and pubs and just history there. And Bisbee is a small mining town that started like in the early 1900s. I think it was like founded in 1880s or something like that, and you may remember it was pretty popular in the Wyatt Earp stuff, and you know, the Doc Holliday days and that kind of stuff. So it's one of those popular western towns that grew to urban proportion for the day because of the mining, the copper mining in the Mule Mountains that came in. Now, that said, for me, it was a cool place to go in the 70s as a young woman. You know, to go there to party, to go there to hang out with friends, to go there to see cool music. A lot of the streets back then were still cobblestone, and the architecture is just gorgeous. Everything you've ever imagined about old western town architecture is there. It's also really close to Tombstone, which I've never gone to Bisbee and not stopped at Tombstone, but Bisbee was still one of my favorites. The way that the town is like built in the mountains, and so a lot of stairways and little coves and doorways that go nowhere and gates and fences, and that was a photographer's dream. Now, I'm not a photographer. I'm very much an amateur photographer, but I used to love taking pictures with the old-fashioned camera. And so that was a photographer's dream. I don't have a lot of those pictures right now at this time because I have them packed away in storage. But I do have some pictures I've taken back in the... I've taken some pictures since I've been back. Before my mom died, we'd gone back several times, and I took pictures electronically on the cameras, on the electronic cameras. So I'll show you what I've got there. And the important thing, if you could take anything away from this, is how it felt for me. I mean, a young woman in the 70s. I was very hippie-ish at the time. Well, still am, I guess, in a lot of ways. But it was just one of those artist towns where the mining had closed back in the mid-70s, so population dropped. So the people who remained were the artists and the singers and the little shops that made soap and candles. Those are the things that remained. And so that was a really cool place for me. There's a hotel there called the Copper Queen Hotel that I've stayed in many times. And back in the 70s when I stayed there, it was, you know, a typical, you know, Western kind of hotel with, you know, very small rooms and shared bathrooms and that type of stuff. But now, or the last time I was there was in the mid 2000s. You know, it was a lot nicer, and you know, rooms had bathrooms, and I've got some really cool pictures. I don't have them because they're hard copy of a time I was there, and there was a bird nesting up on the third floor balcony, and the birds were nesting and feeding their babies up there in the rafters, I guess it's called. But anyway, what that town meant to me was just, it was neat, it was cool. I had grown up in Chicago and Missouri, and we moved to Tucson in 1972, and where I graduated from high school in 1974. So those were the years from like 74 on that I, you know, slowly discovered Bisbee, Arizona. And anyway, I hope you enjoy these little pictures and stuff and my stories about them. And anyway, if you have any questions, and I'll put a link to some history on Bisbee. I'm not so much into the facts of stuff. It's more, for me, is always about the feeling I have for places. And I can't always put dates on things because what I remember is the feeling. I got little pictures in my mind, but I don't have the calendar with it, so it doesn't always make a lot of sense. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. Take care. Talk to you soon. Anyway, one of the musicians I saw there in Bisbee more than once was a little duet called Nowhere Man and a Whiskey Girl. And I've got one of their CDs I bought from them on one of the days I was there, one of the nights I was there. And this would have had to been in the mid 2000s, I'm guessing, 2007. No, it would have been 7. Mom died in 6, so maybe 5, let's say, or 6. And anyway, I was gonna go, and I have the CD, but I threw away the cover because I was condensing all my CDs so they'll all go into one thing, so I can take on the trip. But I just went online just now to get a picture of the album cover, hopefully, so I can add it into this video. Well, guess what? This is sad. Very, very sad. I guess Whiskey Girl had some kind of, they were married, by the way. Derek and Amy something, I don't remember their last name now. They were married, and I guess Whiskey Girl had died from some kind of complication with surgery. Well, Nowhere Man, Derek, commits suicide like the next day or something. This is like somewhere in 2013. Broke my heart. Anyway, how sad, huh? I'm gonna enclose that link if you're interested. I've always liked music that isn't in the mainstream. It's, you just happen in a bar and someone's playing and they got a basket of CDs and you buy them. That's how I discovered Anna Robinson, by the way. She's out of Union, Washington, and I love her stuff. And I just discovered her earlier this year at a winery tasting that she was performing at, and I go, oh, I love this girl. You got any CDs? Yep, and I bought a CD. Anyway, sad, huh? I hope you enjoy the rest of these photographs that I took in November 2005 while they're visiting my mom in Tucson. Also, thank you so much for watching, and please hit like and subscribe and share, and please comment. I love the comments. Also, I forgot to tell you one other thing today. I meant to tell you in the first part of the video. My brother and I are going to take a trip to Wyoming to see my sister in Hannah, Wyoming next week. He's going to drive, of course, his vehicle, not the motorhome, but we're going to be gone for about a week. So I should have some nice footage of Wyoming in that area for you when I get back. The photographs that are coming up of the bar, that's called Big Nose Kate's, and it's in Tombstone, Arizona. Very cool bar, lots of history there, lots of interesting little things to look at. Anyway, take care, everybody. Have a good one.